On the fateful weekend of 6th of May, chaos erupted in the world of cryptocurrencies. The number of unconfirmed transactions skyrocketed to unprecedented heights, causing a temporary halt. Fees were soaring through the roof, and even Binance had no choice but to hit the brakes on withdrawals. Not only once, but twice. Now, you're probably wondering, how on earth did this happen? Well, my friends, the answer lies within the mysterious realm of BRC-20 protocol. So in this video, I'll help explain what the hell BRC-20 is and how is it different from the usual ERC-20. I'll also give you a list of pros and cons, and at the end of this video, I'll also give you my thoughts about this crazy Bitcoin Ordinals trend. So if this sounds good to you, make sure you hit the subscribe button to the Gem Crypto channel, as you don't want to miss out any of our featured content. Once you've done that, let's dive right in. So what is BRC-20? After seeing the success of Ethereum, here's when BRC-20 comes in. But how is it different from ERC-20? Well, BRC-20 basically just took a lot of inspiration of the original ERC-20 tokens. A lot of us have heard of ERC-20 because it's the most common protocol out there. In fact, most of the cryptocurrencies you are seeing on the top list are a version of ERC-20 tokens. For example, popular tokens like Tether and Shiba are also under the hood of ERC-20. But BRC-20 only burst to the scene in March 2023, introduced by mysterious developer known only as Domo. BRC-20 tokens are made possible thanks to Bitcoin's Taproot upgrade in November 2021. This upgrade introduced a concept called Ordinals, which are like serial numbers for the smallest unit of Bitcoin currency, called Satoshis. These ordinals are inscribed onto Satoshi and include in a specific part of Bitcoin transaction called witness signature field. This data helps verify the rightful ownership of the funds being used and prevents double spending. So it's like a digital stamp of authenticity. However, not all ordinals are BRC-20 tokens. While there are millions of ordinals, there are just over 14,000 BRC-20 tokens. Think of BRC-20 tokens as a specific category within the broader ordinal system. To make things happen, BRC-20 tokens utilize a technology called JSON, Ordinals Inscriptions. This technology allows for the creation of token contracts, which are still relatively simple as smart contract functionality has yet to be fully developed. It's important to note that at the moment, the functionality of the BRC-20 protocol is quite limited compared to Ethereum. Currently, users can only mint, deploy, and transfer tokens within the BRC-20 ecosystem. But who knows what the future holds? BRC-20 is currently not an official approved standard, but is still in the proposal phase. Moreover, unlike ERC-20 tokens, BRC-20 tokens are not readily tradable on exchanges at the moment. But why is the Bitcoin community so against ordinals, and why Binance paused Bitcoin withdrawals? Compared to simple peer-to-peer transactions, the process of creating and transferring BRC-20 tokens is a bit more time-consuming. While a regular Bitcoin transaction is usually measured in kilobytes, an ordinal inscription, which serves as the foundation of a BRC-20 token, can be as large as 4 MB. One key difference between ordinal inscriptions and the Ethereum NFTs or other blockchain NFTs is that all the data associated with ordinals is stored directly on the blockchain. This means that any images or added text are also part of the transaction itself. In contrast, traditional NFTs usually contain a link that points to a server where the artwork is stored. This unique characteristic of ordinals leads to increased competition for block space and can result in higher transaction fees for users who want faster confirmation times. But during the peak of this situation, Binance had to pause withdrawals twice. This happened because there was a mismatch between the transaction fees typically paid by the exchange and the transaction fees required for the Bitcoin blockchain. These transaction fees are then paid to miners. The whole scenario is really just a supply and demand mismatch where we have a fixed numbers of nodes but a fluctuating demand for the services. So long story short, I do really get why some people are so against BRC-20. Ordinals does slow down the network and it does increase transaction fees. Not to mention the whole idea of attaching a JPEG to the Bitcoin network doesn't really align with Satoshi's original vision of a peer-to-peer money transfer system at all. Bitcoin maxis see this as polluting the network instead. So we started off with all the cons. Let's take a look at its pros now, shall we? Pro number 1, the rise of NFTs has shown that there's a market for buying, selling, and creating digital assets. With Bitcoin Ordinals entering the scene, the Bitcoin community now has the opportunity to tap into this interest and potentially draw users away from other blockchain, i.e. Ethereum, thereby increasing Bitcoin's value. Pro number 2, it will likely help enhance the network security. Ordinals did really push up the fees for transaction. While this might not be favorable for a lot of people, it provides a greater incentive for miners to verify and secure for the Bitcoin network. This becomes especially important as mining rewards decrease with each halvening event. Pro number 3, it will help speed up the layer 2 adoption. If ordinals lead to higher transaction fees, individuals may seek more cost-effective alternatives for their everyday transactions. This could then drive them to explore second layer solutions like the Lightning Network. As more people adopt these types of solutions, it will drive further improvements in the ecosystem. So after considering all the pros and cons, now I can give you my final verdict. I know it's annoying to see when Bitcoin network fees got so high because trust me, I was sending my funds from Binance to Ledger just 2 weeks ago and gosh, it was slow. However, if we really consider the benefits that BRC-20 has brought to us so far, Bitcoin wallets are at its all-time high, miners are more incentivized to stay on the network, which is always good for decentralization. I know it's not entirely ideal to daily users of Bitcoin, but we managed to drive more traction from ordinals and more people got into Bitcoin. This will also drive Bitcoin to that 100k level, which in my opinion will be well compensated for that additional transaction fees we are experiencing today. So that's my take for the whole BRC-20 token. Let me know your thoughts on the comment section below, whether you are for or against ordinals. If you happen to own any ordinals, do let me know which project you have and we can start a discussion down there. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter and I'll see you guys in no time.